Hey everybody, I just wanted to record this for you. So yesterday we looked at if we're given an inequality, can we create the graph? We're going to look at the opposite today. If we're given the graph, can we determine the inequality? So with our linear functions, typically it's easier to do our y equals mx plus b. Okay, we find our slope, and if we look at this graph, it's actually going up by 0.5 every step. So we look at 2.5 steps. Excuse me, to then convert it in your calculator. You do 2.5 math option 1 for fraction, and it'll turn it into a fraction for you. Okay, which gives us our 5 over 2x. And then our y-intercept, if we look at that, it's occurring at -4. So that's our b part. From there, we then need to look at what inequality symbol we need, because this is an inequality, not an equation. So we kind of set up like a t-chart where our equal sign would be, we just use a line. So we're looking at the left and the right side of our equations. Again, it's always easier to use 0, 0 if it's within the solution region or the shaded area. So we substitute our 0 for x and our 0 for y. Okay, and then we get to the bottom and we go 0 is on the left and -4 is on the right. So which inequality sign would make that true? Well, we would need a greater than symbol. And because it's a dotted line, we just use our greater than, not or equal to. And then we combine those two steps from A and B. We take the equation from step 1, but we take the inequality sign from step B to get our final inequality that y is greater than 5 over 2x minus 4. Okay, for our second one here, we can see that we have a slope, but we can't see our y-intercept. So again, we're going to find the slope going from one point to the next. From one point to the next. And we see that we have a slope of up 1. Okay, typically we're up 1, right 1/2. Or you could go up 2 over 1, either way. So that means you have a slope of 2, but we don't know our b value. So we would pick any other point on here, sub it into our y equals mx plus b version. Okay, so we have our slope is 2, and then we're going to take point -3, 0. Our ordered pairs are always x and y. So we're going to plug that in for x and y. We get 0 equals -6 plus b. So we would add 6 to both sides to get 6 is equal to b. Then we use our t-chart again, put a line through where that equal sign would be. And again, because 0, 0 is in our solution region, we can use that. If it wasn't in our solution region, we would just pick any other ordered pair to replace into our equation to find the inequality sign. But we want to pick something that's in the shaded region so that we know we're looking for something true. So we end up with 0 and 6, 0 on the left, 6 on the right. The inequality sign that would make that true would be a less than sign. And then because our line is solid, we would need that or equal symbol, giving us our equation y is less than or equal to 2x plus 6. That's for linear. Okay. If we're looking for quadratic, we would want to use our vertex form. We can see we have a vertex here, and we have another point here. So if you remember, vertex is P and Q, and other point is X and Y. So we're going to come up to our vertex form, and we're going to replace all our values. So our Y, A will be the only thing left, X minus P squared, and then plus our Q, which happens to be negative. And then we would look at solving this. Okay, so we would get -2 in our brackets. If we square that, it's 4. Make sure you're putting that in brackets in your calculator so you're getting the positive version. That value should always be positive there. Okay, move 16 to the other side, we get 4. And then because we have a times 4, we divide by 4, and we get an a value of 1. Okay, so then we come back and we replace a, p, and q. You can put the 1 in here if that helps you. Otherwise, you can just leave it as x minus 2 squared of minus 16. Okay, and again, nice enough that our 0, 0 is within our solution region, so we plug it into our equation. Okay, those arrows are the steps I would need to see, so just 2 steps minimum, please. Your substitution and then your answer, because you can just put that in your calculator. So we get 0 on the left, negative 12 on the right. The symbol that would make that true is negative 12. And then because it's a dotted line, or sorry, the symbol that would make that true would be greater than. And because it's a dotted line, we're going to leave it without that or equal to. Okay, and then we use A and B together to create our inequality. Okay, if you wanted to, we can pause the video. You guys can give this one a try and then come back and see if you have the right answer. It is the same process. We find our vertex, we find another point, we replace them in our equation to find our a value for our function. Use a test point, again 0, 0 is in here, so we can use that. We get 0 is less than 26. And then because it is a solid line, we need that or equal symbol.